like a town hall yesterday, but we think we're gonna, as internally we decided that it's important for us to have a regular town halls no
Yep.
matter what. So we're probably gonna be you know not changing the time. So this particular one would be like you will keep it fixed so everybody can know upfront what the time is. I think there's kind of like 20-30 people turn out, but pretty last minute. See, I think not no specific agenda as such today, as mentioned in the announcement, but just going to be having an open stage, open session, just for anybody to come and have a chat, and and also for me to explain what position we are in and why it's kind of like in why it was all like quiet for all this while, and stuff like that. So I think you guys obviously would. I don't need to tell this. We are in a in a market. Call it the bear market or whatever. But at the end of the day, right? Like it's. I think it's high time we stop. Or any project stops blaming the market. Like at the end of the day, the aim for projects is not to be like wait for X million users to come in and then prey on them or hope that they buy into your project. It is to make your project or your product like well or good enough that people automatically start coming in. The word will spread. If there is an opportunity that you can give people to make money or connections or network or opportunities, the word is going to spread and people are obviously going to come in. So this is pretty much what we believe in and what we are working on. So the last, I think, few weeks have been extremely productive for us, which from the front end, obviously, it's, I can understand if you guys, it wasn't that visible. Myself and Ken, mainly Ken as well, we have been like kind of like going around, meeting multiple different, entities. And, I hope people understand that it's not like a regular like project like Doodles or something that raised funds from VCs. All right, that's kind of like raising funds for the entire company itself, and you lose control of the company and a lot of things change. What we are trying to do here is raise funds for the product that we have acquired, so that the control of PG is still with us, but this product becomes one of the most important product that we can give a sustainable value back to holders. So I would urge people to put, when you get some time to read this tweet, if you haven't, I think I kind of like made this thread to just explain some numbers there. I'm happy for anyone who's got some counter arguments for the numbers that I put in and whatever. But like I've been seeing like people getting bullish on like certain projects for certain reasons. It's nothing wrong, but it's just that what is the value that's backing it and how it's going to be sustainable is always what we think about. So, in short, like, we this thread pretty much explains the entire, um, you know, what's going on. We are in a fix or in a stage where we are unable to announce, um, you know, explicitly, and at the same time, like, we know that it can be like intimidating for people or kind of like anxious, not knowing exactly what's happening and stuff like that. So really wanted to like thank all those people that have held on and like still believe or keeping on holding on to their hope that like okay, PG is going to do the right thing. It's completely the support is very much needed from the community till this period, because as much as a product can be amazing and it can bring in so and so money or whatever, if the community does not trust in general or in overall, even if you drop the best of the best product, it doesn't make sense. You need your set of people that trust you, believe you, to be your spokesperson, be your people that let's say transmit in whatever is communicated from the project, right? So I think that's pretty important, right? I think we haven't lost relevance or whatever. We are not in a situation like, say, for example, the OG projects like Cyberkongs or Kaiju's to drop another collection to kind of like keep the project running, and it's a very tough position for a lot of projects, and luckily we are not in that. that does not mean that we are just here to survive. We have to take the chances. We have to take risks, to try and do services or products that we believe is going to be the future. Thinking about what NFT 2.0, which I think Ken has spoken about and or mentioned in few threads. I think one of the VCs made us think about it. What do you think is going to be NFT 2.0, right? What you as a project or as a team think is going to be NFT 2.0 is what you should be working towards, right? A lot of projects just work on right now on what is the trend. For example, I'm just saying example, trade swap or trade whatever customization or whatever, right? That's not NFT 2.0, right? It's happening now. A lot of projects are doing that and have done it. Psychedelic Anonymous did it early on. Yay was another project that I was under us and it failed, and then it turned into a freemium that had the same technology of the trade customizer and whatever. Psychedelic Kaiju's had it, and then Meme Land right now, and then Kyong, whatever. The aim is to think what is NFT 2.0 and how it's going to bring value to people. Are people just going to be just NFT 2.0 is not about launching some product that's first or whatever, hey, we are the first ones to do the trade customizers, but to think about what is going to be the thing that's going to attract people back into NFTs, right? So no one knows for 100% which one, what it is, or which one is going to be the 2.0. It's all going to come down to each team's belief and their conviction. So which is what we are doing here. So right now it's been the last few months been an extreme work, or like an efficient work from the team, working on this acquisition mergers and whatnot. um, because I don't know how many projects have thought about it, what happens once the funds deplete, what is it that people want, why do you keep running away from the truth that people want to make money, and you don't just say that NFTs are not NFTs are not, how do I say, securities or stocks, so we don't care about holders not getting value back. Right. It's important to first accept and understand that everybody or majority, right, maybe 99 out of 100 people are there to try or hope or believe that someday they are going to have made some major money from this particular vehicle. I don't want to call it as investment vehicle, as a vehicle, as in thing like NFT or crypto or whatever. Even if you have money, right, you're not just going to be like, hey, I'm here just for fun, I don't care if my NFTs don't make me money. You'll be happy and proud, and that you took the right choice by coming into the NFTs or whatever. The main thing is that people want to make money, right? And that is something I think initially we were not kind of like focusing on that. We were like, hey, floor price does not matter. You don't have to worry about people not making money or whatever. But I think at the end of the day, after some intense talks and research or whatever, no one was able to give me one utility that they wanted PG to build for them. Right? There's so many people here. Again, as I said, I'm open, to suggestions, except for you know passive income opportunities, right? What is that one utility, right? Is yes, the trade customizer is amazing. You'll play with it for a day, and then your office job hits you, and you realize on reality that you don't have money in real life, and you're like, are you gonna be using the trade customizer every day? Making up your your asset or your NFT, right? It's all like fun, right? But apart from that, that's not like a use case, right? The networking side, IDO opportunities or accesses is something that I consider, right? The IDO access is utility for me because it gives me access into this early investment opportunities, and that's pretty much there. But honestly, the real truth is that I'm all about this security is true. The problem is projects cannot tell that publicly that that yeah, we're gonna do some revenue share or whatever. But I know people are trying, projects are trying to find legal loopholes or whatever. including us, obviously, which we believe we have found, but obviously we have to confirm with few other people. At the end of the day, as I said, most of them, majority is here with hopes that they can make money, right? If Pudgy is making $10 million a year, how is that money coming back to the holders? Is the question in everybody's mind. They're buying now or whatever. Nobody knows yet that how that money is going to translate back to value to holders. Right now, I think people are asking those questions to certain communities or certain projects. Hey, how does this benefit me? What is the benefit for you? So again, I'm still having this open. It's not like a cocky statement. If any of you think there's some use case that we can build right now in this period of 1 month, 3 months, or 6 months to just keep things fine for people except casinos, right? Which I think is probably the real utility or real use case that people want. Any other thing, right? Like tools or like stuff. We brought in Sally Bot. I think I don't know if you guys saw yesterday. So it's going to be free for we are paying a monthly small subscription. We worked out a deal for Genesis, Gen 2, and PG. What is it? Fusion holders to use that bot. Get yourself well equipped with it to trade shit coins or whatever. So these are like small stuff. Again, it's not exactly utility or use case that I'm extremely proud of or whatever. We had a partnership announced with Explorius for travel discounts and things like that. The platform probably is going to be ready next month, so all PG holders could be can um, you know gain flights and hotels at discounts. I've used it myself. Got a flight, a business class flight at like 50% off and Skyscanner, which is real and true, and I've tested it myself. So, I'm pretty stoked to see that. These are like small fillers, right? Um, so, really open to that. Or if you don't have anything, just trust us. Just hold on for just the next few more months. By end of this year, a lot of things are going to change. I think we already announced the 10K merge. How that art and this thing is going to bring that the front end optics for us, but at the same time have a real core use case so that it can be sustainable and continue. But apart from that, if you guys have got any other ideas, right? Ideas, the Sally bot kind of stuff, any other subscriptions that we can bring on to everybody that can benefit, that you're paying, that you're subscribing for, that we can bring in. We'll look into it. We can see if we can bring in to benefit the entire community, but that's not going to pump the floor up, right? That's not to pump the floor or anything. I That won't work. That won't pump the floor up. We know that, but it's to retain these people who have turned up here, who are listening, who are following us, to give them back a short-term, use case while we still focus on what our goal is, right? So chat gpt subscription, is there like something like where we can work out a mass opportunity that we can bring to holders? Definitely happy to look into it. If we can get like an enterprise subscription, that can benefit, that can potentially translate as a benefit to all the PG holders. Definitely down to look into it. These kind of stuff, right? This is like just short term stuff, but it's not like a huge thing. That's like $50 a month, $20 a month that we bring back. That's okay. That's a small good amount. Happy to bring it. That's just a filler. All right. This is not our main utility or whatever. This is purely like a filler because I believe that as a community, as a group, we can do a lot more than just individually or by ourselves or things like that. So, anyways, enough of that. So, in short, a lot of things. The timeline is Q4-ish is when a lot of things would be happening. Q3, yes, we'll have a lot of fillers, announcements. We started off with this campaign with this video, which is going to be a regular one. There's going to be info that's going to keep coming out through these video stuff. It should be regular, not just like once in a month or once in 2 months. To just you know keep people guessing, but at the same time also show exactly what's happening in the back end and stuff like that. So yeah, that's where we are at. And as I said, we have invested in few companies, projects as well in the last 5 weeks, as under PG Cap. So PG has taken equity in few NFT projects and products that people are using on a day-to-day basis, projects that people are bullish on. And I've written that in the thread as well, how this could benefit PG than just buying. While people buy NFTs, while we are taking up equity in those businesses, Like for example, imagine holding, right? Just think about it. Imagine holding equity in Pudgy Penguins than buying the NFTs of Pudgy Penguins. Right? Is the thought process. It's pretty much what why we're working on. What this means, I'm just going to explain very simply in a layman terms, right? So assume that you're a Pudgy holder. I think this thread is applicable for any project that's there. You can just put the numbers in and see if it makes sense, right? So assume you're a Pudgy holder, the floor is 5 ETH or whatever. So just do this, just read this tweet here, right? If Pudgies make $10 million profit, right? 10, not revenue. Let's say the revenue is 40 million or 30 million, and if they make a $10 million profit, right? Just for example, that is a big task, right? That in itself is a big task, and to distribute amongst what 6,000 or 8,000 holders, even if they can distribute 50% of that as profit, it's like $500 per person, right? Is that something that's gonna make the holders happy? I don't know, right? This is where the I want people to think what we are trying to do here. However, if I've invested in Pudgy, right, in the company where their valuation is, you know, um, you know 20 million or 10 million or 50 million or whatever, and they're generating a $10 million revenue, the valuation goes to a billion or a 2 billion or half a billion, or they become the next you know Mattel of Web3 or whatever, attracting so much of audience that they're generating that $10 million income, but their valuation is a billion or a billion and a half. My equity stake in Pudgy Penguins is 30, 40 of 100x from where I got in, versus the NFT holders who are already buying an overpriced asset. So this is what we are trying to do. I'm happy to answer if you guys have got any doubts in this. It's a very simple math, right? $10 million profit distributed amongst, with even 50% of that distributed amongst 10,000 people is $500 a year. Nobody wants that. That's the truth, right? Nobody is going to be like, oh, bro, I'm going to buy a 5 ETH asset and get $500 a year. That's like 5% ROI. Like I get better ROIs with my, some banks, even in Australian banks, I think right now is 4%. So why am I buying into a risky asset to potentially make $500 a year? Assuming these are all legal, right? There's a lot of complexities here. It's not like the project can first of all, revenue share, number one. Number two, even if they revenue share, this is the amount that it amounts to, so it is not attractive, so they cannot, really hard. And generating a $10 million profit is not a joke, right? It's, I think, $10 million profit, not revenue. Revenue itself is hard, but $10 million profit is not a joke. If you make 10 million and if you distribute to your holders, it's $500 a year. Right? What do you think is going to happen to the NFT asset if people start realizing that part? Right? Because all this while people are assuming that somehow there's going to be revenue share. This is not to take a dig at any projects. This is just the thought process. While PG is investing into potentially, right, Pudgy Penguins, for example, in the company that's generating that revenue, where the valuation of the company is different to what valuation people are buying NFTs at. If you guys can understand, for example, buying a Tesla stock is different to buying a Tesla NFT, right? You buying a Tesla stock is a stake in the company. You buying a Tesla NFT is whatever value that public is putting in. There is no real actual value behind it. So what we are trying to do here is not just build or acquire products, but also invest in products or projects that the space is bullish on. Impossible for every product that we invest in to go to zero, or whatever. But even if one product clicks and becomes a unicorn, PG's stake in it means even if PG runs out of funds tomorrow, this is alive. You have a skin in these projects. You have if by holding the PG, by PG by itself with no money in hand, by investments in 30 companies, 5K to 50K check sizes, whatever, taking 0.1% to 3% stake in companies, means that even if there is no money in PG, right, or PG is not generating any income, there is a backing to it, right? Instead of just NFTs. And we are not throwing money from what we raised, right? We are only using a portion of the funds that we generate from external sources, consultancies, or whatever, from wherever we are getting. And especially, let me just tell you what we are doing even with PG Capital, right? Pretty simple. you guys are investing, we are bringing you IDO opportunities, okay? Super oracles, for example, we raised about 300K or something, 350K or whatever. A percentage, we take a percentage of the raise, right? We take a percentage from, I think, what, 5 or 10% or 7% or something. I mean, Ken's got the numbers, but anyways, that percentage, what we get from raising for super oracles, for instance, that money goes back as investment, right? This is the amount that's going back into super oracles or other investment, opportunities, and not just sitting as USD cash or whatever. So we are only using the funds that we are getting from these kind of services that we are offering, invest back into that. So super oracles tomorrow, right? I don't know exactly how much we invested. If super oracles, I think the IDO rumor that was going around was 0.064, which is like 4x, I think, from where we bought in. Wait, I think somebody sent me the other day. I think the leaked IDO price is 0.064, or whatever the next round raise or something like that. So if that is the case, we bought in at, like, if I'm not mistaken, at 0.016, so which is like a 4x at the IDO, not even public this thing, right? So which potentially means that if, say, PG had raised 300K and we had a 10% charge or a 5% charge, and we had 15K, and we put that 15K back into super oracles, at the very least, it means that it's a 45K to 60K returns on super oracles, right? Without us touching our vault funds, without us touching our runway or anything. This is purely from what we raised from the community. A portion, 5%, which is a small nominal number, or a 10%, that number what people have invested in, we are putting it back into Supra, and if it doubles or triples or quadruples or 10x's or whatever, it's coming back into the vault in a much bigger scheme. I mean, like, much bigger scale than, not doing anything. So this is what I want you guys to think, and I'm happy, as I said, like, to answer any questions in this statement or this thing that I made on our thought process first. Hi Shan, from a community expansion standpoint, beyond the NFT crowd, what are your thoughts on Pudgy Penguins and VFriend strategy, like how they're doing at Comic Con? Um, I mean, I don't like this guy, but I'm going to send the link of this guy. Is I think you guys might have come across him. He's called like Professor Leo or something in Twitter. Where is this guy? I saw this thing. Wait, let me just find him. Yeah, found him. Where is that stuff? Yeah, this one. Let me just post it here. Yeah, this guy, as I said, like, he's very negative, but his points actually make sense, right? I don't want to encourage this kind of negativity because it's too much. Already we know the market is shit and blah blah blah, whatever. You don't need to keep rubbing salt in the wound. But the fact that people just getting bullish on Instagram followers and all those things is very childish, in my opinion, and it is not a mass expansion. People, if they buy toys, it's kids that buy toys. Doesn't mean it's going to come back as NFTs or them coming to buy in a 5 ETH asset. Of being able to afford $100 plushie doesn't mean you can afford a 5 ETH asset, right? I mean, as kids, who's going to buy the plushies? Mostly kids or Pudgy supporters or something. So I'm not dismissing. They've done a fantastic job, but I personally am not sure. I would rather invest in Pudgy Penguins as a company than NFTs. If you want to know, what my take on that is, I would 100% invest on Pudgy as a company because I think they raised $9 million recently or whatever through a SAFT agreement through some VCs or whatever. I personally wouldn't buy the NFT. I would buy shares or investment into the company than the NFT itself, right? Because I don't know, people don't probably logically think about it, but what, selling toys has been done for ages by so many brands and stuff. The companies are going to make money, but how much? What is the competitor? Maybe your aim is to get acquired by Mattel. Okay, let's assume you're going to get acquired by Mattel tomorrow for $500 million. All right, how is this $500 million going to come back to the holders? Is what percentage is going to be taken by the VCs? Will the VCs allow that kind of a thing to happen? Being based in the US, does it allow you a lot of things to be done even if you sell the company? So many questions are there, right? I would safely be an investor in Pudgy Penguins than or Be Friends, even for example. Amazing. Definitely, if you have the funds, we don't have that much of funds to go to Comic Con, not go to Comic Con, like have a booth in Comic Con. If we have extra funds, 100% I would do that. Right? There's nothing wrong. It's nice to have that kind of a thing. But is that going to bring mass adoption? I don't know. Whenever I buy toys, I don't go and explore where it's coming from, what all I can do with it. I'm just gonna have a toy in my fucking room. Even when I was a kid, I'd play with it, and I'm not gonna go and be like, hey, okay, let me just go explore where this is from. Oh, there's an NFT collection. Let me go buy a little Pudgy. I don't even know what's a MetaMask. I'm a 7-year-old buying toys or 10-year-old buying toys, right? So I'm not sure if mass adoption is gonna come from that kind of a, that Be Friends set of things. But it's a good sign for the Web3 in general, because what we cannot do with not having millions of dollars in hand, I'm happy that some project is using their or burning their funds to get something about Web3 out. So you cannot succeed just by yourself, right? So if Pudgy succeed and they become like massive, means the entire Web3 is going to gain positive, this thing. And when people start coming in, there are going to be people like yourselves who would believe in projects like PG than Pudgies, for instance, or whatever. That's going to come in either ways. So it's an overall win for the market. That's how I see it. So yeah, I mean, what Be Friends and Pudgies are doing is good. Personally, I don't know. An investor, I would be happy, but as a NFT, holder, I'm just it's full of copium. If I believe that that's going to bring the flow pump. So yeah, I mean, anything else? Any other questions? I think a lot of them who buy them may not know the NFT component even exists. Of course, man. I don't know. As I said, like I don't. Most of them won't even know what's NFT, and even if then, like it's a lot of things. It's a way like mass adoption. Mass adoption is a word that's thrown around, but it's let's first convince our parents to buy crypto, right? Let our parents first buy crypto, and then maybe let's come into mass adoption for NFTs. What about a transition to Web 2 social platform? Do you see any benefit in doing that for PG like PUBG or VFriends? We did have internal discussion about it like a while back, Instagram and stuff, which is why I posted this tweet here. Like mind blown, as 5 million fucking followers, right? More than Pudgy Penguins, and this was a long time back. And I don't know if it is going to benefit, but if there is revenue stream coming up to help the project through that million followers or something, why not? Right? I wouldn't boast about it as a project. Yo, we got 1 million followers on Insta, and look at we're getting 10 million reach or whatever. I don't know if that's a thing to boast about, because that's not bringing the Web3 crowd does not, when they understand it, it's almost like what is everyone, if they start thinking what's the ROI, what's the benefit, what's this, what's that, none of that would make sense, right? So yeah, I don't think Web2 people would buy NFTs as well. What we were thinking was obviously having Insta and stuff is good, but now that Twitter has already got threads and stuff, I think we can focus on one platform, and then bring people, so for us, if, for example, if finance is our main thing, right, bringing idea opportunities, I would rather target the crypto audiences or build products, which we are doing as well, for crypto audience, than trying to target some Web2 guys, right, who don't have clue. Converting a crypto audience into NFTs audience or NFT users by providing something what the crypto user needs, for me, I think is a much better optic or attempt than trying to convert some guy or our moms and dads who don't know what's MetaMask and shit to buy NFTs. Right? There's so many millions of people already using cryptos who are not doing NFTs, and they just call NFTs are scam or shit and whatever. Change that perspective. Hey, you buy this NFT, you like cryptos, right? You love cryptos. Yeah, here you go. This is our returns. This is the ROI on our IDOs. These are our partnerships. You buying our NFT means that you can buy more cryptos at an early stage than what you're buying. This is more of a conversion rate for me, an easier transition. That 100 million people or 100 million crypto users bringing them into NFTs than Web2 audience who don't give a fuck about NFTs. Right? So that's my personal thoughts. As I said, all these, each project, each personality, each team has a different opinion. This is pretty much what we think or how we want to proceed. If it resonates with people, right, they're gonna come to us. They're gonna join our, let's say, clan. If it does not resonate, they're going to find their own clan. They believe that, okay, so and so project is going to have 5 million followers on Instagram. That means Mindblow One should have had a 5 ETH floor or a 10 ETH floor, because 5 million followers, like, isn't there, what is the conversion rate on that 5 million followers? What has Mindblow One done with the 5 million followers? How are they going to convert even like 0.1% of that audience? Not even kidding, right? 1% of 5 million is what, like 50K? 0.1% is 5K. If 5K people buy Mindblow One from the floor, there is no flow, right? So the conversion rate is terrible, right? Like from 5 million to almost nothing. So I don't think we are going to focus on the Web2 platform yet. We are going to focus on the crypto community, products for crypto. That's our backup, right? That's our backup. If NFTs fail, how is PG still going to generate revenue and bring value to holders? Crypto. If NFTs fail, cryptos won't fail, right? So if we can tackle the crypto side of things, and we believe there is a massive gap between crypto and NFTs, where I don't know how many of you here came into NFTs from crypto. From my understanding, a lot of people directly jumped into NFTs bypassing crypto, right? Cryptos, IDOs, IP, whatever, ICOs, and like even crypto trading or crypto bots and grid bots trading and whatever the automated stuff. I feel like a lot of NFT people have skipped the crypto, you know, cycle and directly came into NFTs. The other way around as well. When the crypto guys feel or this thing, they feel that NFTs are a scam and they don't want to touch it, would rather focus on where the crypto people are, Telegram groups. Would focus on Telegram and WeChat than Instagram or the products what we are looking to build, as other social media platforms or communication platforms than Facebook, Insta at this stage. It's an open stage, guys. If anybody wants to come in, it's just a just a back and forth, discussion stuff. Um, Arguments are welcome, especially those who have, because it makes us think as well, right? So yeah. Any other questions? Just come on stage or request or just type your questions there. At the same time, real life application, like you know, um, like like now if you tell your GF I have a Jira NFT, we can go for 3 days, 2 nights at Pali Villas discount. Yes, that's good, but at the same time, it's not the biggest of the biggest value prop. It's like you get a $500 discount, great, right? That's pretty much like a side thing. Definitely, that's a good one. A PFP needs to be a membership that money cannot buy. 100%. That's the that's pretty much the most important thing. Getting a ape means I get access to Sequoia, A16Z, all these people who are, part of that community that I can pitch my idea is invaluable. By Shan having AMA when I'm having dinner. Appears we don't have enough others for questions. These I don't think that's the thing. I think the fathers are not coming on VC. Like every fucking time, ask these guys to come up and ask your questions or whatever. They don't come up. They just wanna, you know, just make statements on other Discord servers or something. Yeah, I mean, it's a project by the community for the community, right? That's how we have been from day one. So, any kind of suggestions, anything we can do that's doable from our end, just openly come and throw it up here, right? Like what Jabs posted, like about PT subscription for everybody. We can see if it's feasible, right? If it's doable, why not? There was a question earlier on alpha fudge. Okay, so GRX. So this is a big topic, right? The GRX has been like, a thing about what are we doing? There is no whitelist, blah blah blah. What are we doing with GRX? So I was using the wrong term before. So I told before that GRX is like maps of captains, but I heard that maps is not gonna do anything with meme token, right? So we cannot use that analogy anymore. So in short, for us, GRX is going to be tied into this token drop that I've been talking about for this from this product we have acquired. So GRX will be the key along with the asset that you hold or claiming, or those tokens or the airdrop or whatever that's going to happen will be based on GRX and the asset that you hold. So we believe that GRX is one of the ways to determine the loyalty side. So it is not just about, oh man, I used a lot of GRX, what do I do, right? I think we are going to look at how much has been accumulated by that account before selling. So if you hold a Gen 2 and you generated GRX and you sold that Gen 2, that GRX is gone forever. But if you kept holding it and you used those GRXs for 10 different raffles, it doesn't matter, right? There's going to be a ratio of how much you earned to how much is being held. So which means, for example, someone has used 100k GRX, right? But they've generated that 100k. Valuation of the airdrop will be taken for the 100k that they've earned, right? For example, and also whatever GRX is left over will also have a valuation. Simply put, right? In short, someone who has been with us for the longest of times has been generating, like from Jan, right? GRX was from Jan, has been generating. We have all the records, right? You generated 80k, 60k, 30k, and you still hold an asset. Plus, you have 5k, 10k left in your wallet. This 30k will have a value, and the 10k left will also have a value. So, in short, if that's the way for us to reward loyalty. What type of IRL partnerships is PG pursuing at the moment? Non-monetary membership or VIP kind of stuff. I mean, we haven't been like pursuing, membership kind of stuff. So one of the things we did was, as I said, like one example of what we did recently was Explorious. I think I posted the tweet here. So holding a PG asset, even a Gen 2 platform will be out by next month. That's what they told, right? Once the platform is ready, you just log in with your PG asset, and you will be getting discounts on flights and hotels from Explorious, right? And as I said, they're getting deals better than Booking.com and Skyscanner. A lot of times, especially if you have flexibility in your travel dates and stuff, right? There's a lot of value there. So these are the kind of things we're looking at, and not just this thing. If they're going to partner with 100 different projects, we don't want it. Like for example, like no offense, right? There's a project called Travel Swap. They reached out for some partnership or some discounts or whatever for PG holders. They're partnering with 100 different projects. So I'm like, what is the benefit and waste of time for us to just be like, hey, okay, give us this partnership? We don't want to. From the last few months, we are not taking up partnerships just for the sake. Hey, we have 100 different partnerships. No, we have 6 partnerships, but all 6 are quality. Explorious, for example, is purely for us because we bought into it. We're one of the earliest supporters. So it's not for cyberkongs, kaijus, llamas, etc., but it's for PG holders, right? I think it's important to have that quality over quantity. These are the kind of partnerships we are looking at. Jags, you might be interested on something as well. One of the things we have is something called as Recon Legal. It's a PGS, as you know, PG has some equity in different ventures and things like that. So Recon Legal is like set up by one of our PG Genesis holders. and there's like 5 or 6 people from different countries and stuff, where any legal services that comes to us from the Web3 side, we pass it on to them, and we get a commission from it, right? So this way we are like, okay, PG uses its reach, we start pushing, or when somebody comes and reaches, hey Shan, we want this, advisory for so and so our OpenSea delisted, or we want to do this DAO system, whatnot, right? Where are you based, where your company is, this thing, or even company registrations and things like that. So these are things where we've been passing on to this thing, right? So these are the kind of things we are doing, man. So in short, like, partnerships with kind of like these kind of services, we're just finding a nice way or the platform to be built where the PG holders can automatically start gaining this benefit. So henceforth, it's not like Llama reaching to Shan to try and get legal this stuff. It's more like Llama holds a Gen 2 and requests on the website, and the request automatically goes to Recon or the people in that Recon this thing, and them getting notified and then sending them a quote back, and we take a commission from it. So automating the services. So long story short, so the IRL partnerships, this is how we are looking at some things, or things where people can use, and it's exclusive to an extent, or our own product. I'm done with all this stupid partners. That's why the post in PG has been down, right? Because we are not using that word partnership anymore for every random shit that's reaching out to us. Hey Shan, do you want to partner with us? I'm like, what is it? I'm like, yo, we are the best tools in the space. All right. So who all have you partnered with? Oh, we are partnered with 70 different projects. I'm like, bro, if they're partnered with 70 different projects, why does it matter if PG holders come in or not? Right? It's like, for example, these guys Nexus Tools reach out and they're like, they have official partnership X to Y to OC Balfa, Dark Echelon, Rect Collective, blah blah blah, whatever. If every Tom, Dick, and Harry is gonna get access to the tool, how is it exclusive anymore? And why do we even have to do that? Would rather have invest into this product and make it exclusive for PG holders, where people buy into PG for that particular use case, than just announcing a partnership for the sake. Like Pans, for example, a lot of Pans partnership or benefits will be towards PG holders than some randos in the space. Right? They're not gonna bring some stuff, random shit to cybercongs or whatever. There could be partnerships, but there is specific benefit that comes to PG holders. A lot of PANs is also being done by PG holders at this moment, but this is like almost like exclusive partnership, because there's some equity for PG on it. Plus, we are like kind of working together or whatnot. That's an exclusive product that's being developed, where PG holders get some benefits. So yeah, DMU. Balance between exclusivity while being inclusive. This exact point is what our product acquisition is about. What Nostradamus has posted now. Inclusive for the entire Web3 space, but exclusive for PG holders. Right? If there's a million users coming into Web3 tomorrow, they can use the product, but major benefits, passive benefits will be for PG holders. Extract from the million and give back to the thousands, right? So that is the way to go about it. You cannot, like as I said, I might be wrong, but personally for me, anybody building a metaverse and list and limiting it to 5K, 10K NFTs. Imagine if Pudgy Penguins made these toys and made the toys available only to Pudgy holders. Like how many sales would they have had, right? So it's important to have a wider audience use your product, but the value has to come back to the OGs or the holders of the NFTs. Right? Anything else, guys?
Hey, Sean, I have a question. This is Toli.
Yeah, go for it.
What what do you look for in brands or projects to invest in? Are you kind of like, is
Mhm.
there a particular
Yeah.
kind of brand or project or utility that you're looking for, or is it just anything that's, I don't know, making money, or do you consider pre-revenue? I'm curious what those parameters are.
That's a pretty good question, right? So there's quite a lot of factors, right? So first, I want to just let you guys know about our Jira Money Minds team and who's in there. So Ken, obviously, you guys know, with his experience or whatever, as a CFO. But behind Jira Money Minds is also like really solid guys. From all these three guys are from the US, all in their mid 40s, I think, 35, 38 to 45 ish. One guy, Brian, is a PG holder as well. He's been working for hedge funds and he's a partner or something at few, ventures. The other one is James J Kong, he's a Gen holder as well. I'm not sure if he's here. 20 or 25 years, finance, investment, the what is it, background, right? And the other one is Steve Naiku. I'm not sure if he's here as well. All these guys are based in the US, all Gen holders, right? So, and I think he's in his mid 40s or late 50s, I think. So all these guys have pretty much, the ones that can put across as the team of Jira Money Minds is mainly to, curate, not just make our decks and stuff, because these guys are loaded with experience which cannot be found that easily in the space. But these are people that you would want to talk in web, even web 2. These guys are so valuable even in web 2 fundraisings or whatever. So these guys, the deals come to me, and I mostly make a decision then and there, based on I look at a product, right? Not just necessarily a pre revenue model or whatever. I look at a product, I see if the product makes sense to me first. If the product, I like it, for example, I'll announce this, right? We have invested in a project called Giant Planets, right? I think that was public anyways. I think it's already public. So here, for example, Giant Planets. Wait, let me just post it here, the link, so you guys can see. So this particular one, let me just post it here. So you guys can see how our process works on how we choose, our investment, or these things, the different types. Okay. So first one is GPS. Personally, I've invested, and also from PG, right? So why we invested? Number one, Ken met Arthur, the founder, in person, when he went for this Hong Kong conference, which was like a 100-member only conference kind of thing, very exclusive in the Google headquarters on June 1st. He met him, liked his personality, and for checked his background, right? So he was founder of a product called Zombie Run, generating multi-million-dollar revenue before shutting it down, or I don't know if he shut it down or he sold it to somebody else before COVID. So we look at it and we're like, man, this guy has got a track record, 40 years ish, whatever. First thing is, he has a track record of building a product or building a game that's made multi-million-dollar revenue that's used by so many users around the world. All right, tick, right? Number two, is there anybody else who's backed the product? PG has never been the first backer, right? We don't want to be the first backer, right? That's a risk. We cannot put huge amounts of funds on that. Who are the people that are backing? So we asked them, right? So, all right, so have you secured some investments first? And he's like, yes or no. If they have secured investment, if they have not secured investments, we're like, hey man, sorry, we're not a full on, a big animoca like VC, so we cannot take the risk. So we can't be the lead. Find a lead and come back to us, right? So with Arthur, he was like, oh, we have many leads. I'm like, who are them? Heliconia. Temasek is the biggest fund in the world, right? In terms of like a sovereign fund, $400 million plus funds under management, Singapore government. He was like, yeah, Temasek is on. Plug and Play, I know them. APAC, they're on. Few other guys, right? Some known, Sequoia's co-founder is on. I'm like, okay, fine, perfect. Now the next stage. I like it, or me Ken likes it, or whatever. We then pass it on to the Jira Money Minds now for the valuation check. Right? What is the valuation you raised at? 10 mil, 15 mil, 20 mil, 25, 30, whatever, right? Different stages. We look at it, we are like, bro, 25 is too much, or 30 is too much, 20 is too much, or whatever. and whatever, right? Or valuation is fine. We want to try and get the best deal as a strategic investor. So we try and go back and try to ask them, right? Hey, how do you think we can, what value do you think we can provide, so that you can get it at an early valuation? We missed seed A, we missed pre-seed, so, but we don't want to pay seed B. What can we provide? And they come back to us. They're like, okay, what are the things that you have access to? We're like, oh, we have PG cap, we have connects to this VCs, we can connect you guys to that. If you have an NFT drop or something like that, we can assist you in the back end for strategy or whatever. A little bit of push for your project as well. And they're like, oh shit, okay, let's do it. Because we don't have that. We got the funds, we got the money, but we don't have anybody known in the space to back us, right? So now, for example, let me give you an example here, right? Keep it between us for now. I don't know if I can tell this or whatever, but they've raised funds at like I think 20 or 25 million dollar valuation. PG invested, backdated and invested into Giant Planets at $5 million valuation. So think about it. They've already raised funds, I think, at 5x the valuation than what PG has invested at, right? Straight up giving us that big boost in just on paper or whatever, right? Theoretically, right? And the risk for us is very low at a $5 million valuation than a 25. And what we offer in return, helping them with the consultancy side, for which they're paying us as well. They paid us $15,000 for that as well, 6 weeks of consultancy work. So think about it. We have invested money at a lower valuation, and we have got a consultancy job with them, which is something they were looking for, and we got paid for that as well on top of that, right? So this way, win-win-win for PG because of the product plus the connects. Me and Ken were at dinner. We both were at dinner in Singapore last week. That's the reason why I traveled to Singapore. In a group, net worth of that group of 10 people in Singapore was 1 billion, multi-billions. I mean, at least minimum, I know it's $1 billion. Sequoia's co-founder. Sequoia is one of the biggest. Masek, other whales and VCs sitting in there. And me and Ken were sitting in that group with the 10 people, right? That's pretty much, the kind of, access that we're getting. So networking, right? Networking with the right people, not networking with some stupid influencers. Yes, if I network with some stupid influencer, he's going to make a thread about me, 500 likes, 1,000 likes. People are going to be like, PG is great. But this is powerful. This is real stuff. This is not some random internet money. This is real people. We meet them in person. We try to invest in them, get a low valuation, give them something back in terms of consultancy, get paid, keep the circle going, expand the network. Sitting in a dinner with those people wouldn't have happened if we didn't do that, right? So this is one of the ways how we work, right? Valuation, who's the team behind it, who are the backers. These are the three major things.
Thank you, Shan. And just one more question. I didn't hear the figure that you mentioned as far as the amount that you invest in projects. It makes sense that you want to go for a high volume to distribute the risk. High volume of different investments, low valuations to distribute the risk like that. What is your range that you put into these projects, and what is your ask?
Yeah, pretty much. So personally, I put, my personal thing will be different to PG, right? So, because of, we don't have, as I said, a multi-million dollar treasury, so we got to be careful. Our ticket sizes are usually for PG will be from 10K to very bullish ones. We've gone up to 50K, I think, right? But mostly around the 10 to 20K mark. And then we try to offer it to PG cap. If they don't want to allow it for PG cap, right? Because they don't want it to be public or the valuation or whatever, then we only announce it to specific whales. We started rolling this out pretty recently because these kind of exclusive deals that they don't want it to be publicly posted through PG cap. Then we start, facing through some whales, which we are expanding slowly. Hopefully we can bring some people from Fusion or whatever. If you're an accredited investor or if you have some money, or at least hold at least 2 Gen 2s. For now, anybody I think who's holding 2 Gen 2s, we have been putting them in a Telegram group chat, bringing them some crazy opportunities, which we cannot make it public, unfortunately, right? So, we brought 4 opportunities, including Gen Planet. Right? So Gen Planet is an option that's open even for the PG Gen Whales, right? So I can't make this public, which is one of the biggest problems of PG, is that we get these accesses, but I can't talk about it publicly or tweet about it. Hey, hold 2 Gen 2s. I can create an investment group. You can join in there. We're trying to find out how we can do that, more in a cleaner way. But in short, 10K is like the minimum, and up to 50K is what as a ticket size we put from PG. And me personally, I think same around 5K to put even 100K in certain projects if I'm really bullish on. Right. So yeah, that's kind of like the range. Me, Jamie, Ken, Ambrish, we all like the team puts in that range, like 5K to like 100K ish kind of stuff.
And is there a range of equity that you ask for, or does it depend on the circumstances or
No,
the potential of the project?
so range of equity is basically going to be depending on the valuation. So if it's a $10 million valuation, you put 1 million, that's a 10% equity stake in the business, right? So when they announce or they send us the deck, we look at the valuation and we try to negotiate. We try to negotiate. We see who's the earliest investor, right? So for example, if Giant Planets, they came up with a $25 million valuation because they raised at 20 already or whatever. We look at what is the earliest round they raised at, and the earliest was say $5 million valuation. We try to get back into that round by being like, hey, who are the people that invested at 5 mil? Okay, so and so, amazing. Okay, how about a small ticket size, right? Not huge, right? Because you can't have a 100K ticket size backdated for 5 mil because you're giving out big chunk of the company. So what we do there is like, hey, how about a strategic investment, like 10 to 20K, right? A small amount, give it to us at a $5 million valuation. Right? We're going to be your Web3 trusted partner in return for that thing. We are giving you money, just that we didn't see you early, we didn't meet you early on, right? We didn't meet you early on, so that doesn't mean that you cannot give us. If you give us a small, potential opportunity at that, the earliest valuation that you gave someone, we can offer so and so to you, right? If it makes sense for them, they'll be like yes, or if not, they'll come back and be like, hey, 5 is not possible, maybe 10 mil valuation is possible because considering we already raised at 20, that's a 2x for you from either ways. So there's a little bit of back and forth. Right? This is the amount of work that goes in the back end, even to get one deal, even through PG Cap, vetting hundreds of projects. And you guys, as we know, majority of the people in the space don't do financial, you know, management, or they don't take their own, calculate their risks. So we can't bring all the decks. We can bring 10 projects a month through PG Cap because every motherfucker is looking to raise funds. But we are curating and trying to bring like maybe 1 or 2 good ones that we think has a high potential, right? You got to spread your bets, of course, like across at least 10, 15 different projects, because if one makes a 50x, you're, recover whatever you put in. This is how, this is the kind of like the ask, I would say, like, from our end would be like leveraging our community, leveraging our, our connections on the Web2 side or the VC side, try and get some better value for PG to invest in. So the equity stake would depend on the valuation. We put 10K at a final valuation. That's 10K divided by 5 million of the company. Is that
Hey
clear?
Sean, this is Shan. I have a really quick question. So, if there's opportunities for PG Capital that are presented from the community, is there a way that we can go about bringing that to you?
From the community, as in like if you guys come across a potential project that wants to raise funds.
Yeah, or if we're working with those projects.
Of course, Ethless. Ethless was one project. That's how we got in. Like Natex is a holder of PG, and she was working at Ethless, and that's how we brought in Ethless in the last minute, though. But still, just brought in the last minute, right? Like a 20% discount or some stuff like that in the last minute. Definitely yes. Ken is the person for that, right? So it does, like, we have our own vetting process, and as I said, we won't be the first investor, right? As long as there's a lead or some known VC, or even if it's a small check size, right? Like some VC that has taken the lead, PG Cap will never be the first. That's the only difference.
Understood. Yeah, so I guess I'll touch base with you and try to gather some information in the meantime.
Yep, 100%. Because we can't take that risk when there is no lead investor, if you know what I mean. So we'll be the only investor and they'll get stuck in. And if they can't raise funds with anybody else, we doomed. We're not in the position to take that risk, which is why the fusion is our aim or our vision. Bring those kind of products or investment into those kind of products, even with no lead investor on, right? That's the aim with fusion. Yeah, I think there's a lot of these challenges that we faced after starting fusion, but it's definitely the path and the vision for fusion is not going to change. Just that we need more builders. That's it. Like Pudgy Penguins using our nouns and getting $20,000 from the nouns vault. These are the kind of people we need to attract into fusion, right? Like, there is opportunities. We just need the right, ideas, the right people to come in as well, and also for PG to have like an automated, smooth process and platform setup for the fusion thing to be successful. The idea is 100% is going to work. It's just the execution part we have to figure out. So this way, even if you don't have a lead investor for a project or this company, right? For example, Chan, you're telling about this company you are working with, and they want to raise say $1 million at $10 million valuation, and you present them a deck like, hey, you know that you don't have a lead investor, but there's a small chance for you if you come. Check the decks. These are the accesses to the VCs that PG has got, and this is the community fund that's called PG Cap that community can also participate in. If you become a part of the fusion, they don't know anything about NFTs, right? If you become or you buy a fusion, you can post the proposal here and see what the community thinks about it. And if the proposal passes through, PG is going to support you with connecting with all these VCs or even be potentially the lead investor, right? Now you are actually onboarding your company from Web2 for paying $1,000 US, which is nothing at this moment for a fusion, right? To get this opportunity for them to fundraise, because that's not easy. Try reaching out to 5 VCs, right, who have like a 30, at least a $1 billion funds under management. Try reaching out to 5 VCs. No one's going to reply to your emails. We got direct contacts. We are talking every single day, getting feedbacks from these kind of people, right? This is valuable, right? But the number of people that can use this right now in Web3 is almost zero. Not zero, almost zero, right? Or that kind of builders are not yet ready for Web3. So if I offer the same service into Web2, people are charging $30,000 upfront, right? $20,000 to $30,000 upfront to help projects in Web2 raise funds just by connecting to VCs. They are being the middleman, right? We can make a killing with all the connects we have made from the Web3 with all these VCs, Sison, Sino, Sequoia, Heliconia, and all those people. But on the Web3 side, it's very nascent and very new. But tomorrow, once we set the process ready, you are going to onboard your company into Fusion. You can be their, whatever sponsor or whatever as well, making a proposal. And if the proposal goes through, they're going to get that for like what, peanuts, right? At least in today's prices. So yeah, that's our long-term vision for the Fusion or fundraising for people that do not have access to VCs. Right. Any other questions? I think Master Catalog's question there. We have talked about equity opportunities, blah blah blah, all this stuff. How do we plan on bringing more communities who will want to enter our ecosystem and utilize GRAX? I think that's the entire reason why the rebranding is very important. So I don't know how many of you guys have experienced this, but whenever people speak to somebody else in the server, they're like, even right now, look at this guy who's not a Gen 2 holder. I think he's just asked a question: 2 Gen 2s or 1 Fusion, right? And Master Catalog, I think, is replied Fusion, obviously being the head of this thing. But think about the confusion that's causing already for people. Should I buy 2 Gen 2s or 3 Gen 2s or 1 Fusion, or do I save up for a Genesis? Blah blah blah, whatever. I don't know what's the difference. And by the time you explain what's happening now, there's not a lot happening right now. People are like, oh, I'll wait and come back later. It's all about, like, they think so much, they're confused. There's so much of segregation or whatever, making it hard for new people to come and try or test or even be. If okay, let's assume, right, if people are listening to this AMA, if there's thousands of people whoever is left over in the space is listening to the AMA, the potential the conversion rate is a lot more. And I'm confident of that, because we are speaking numbers, we're speaking actual stuff, we are having an open stage, which is not very common in a lot of communities. But the thing is, it still confuses people. If there's, let's assume I get on a call with 50 Azuki whales and I explain the entire plan. We can't keep going on doing this to one person one by one, right? Hey, this is what Genesis is going to do, this is what Gen 2 is going to do, this is what Fusion is going to do, blah blah blah, whatever. I think, how do you bring in more people? Make it easy for them. We started 333, amazing. Then we did Gen 2, Fusion, whatever. But it's diluted. We haven't diluted the collection supply. In fact, our total collection size is so small. But what we have done is we have confused the ecosystem. Nobody has time to read. Even a person like myself, when I start thinking now, I didn't have time before. When I was working at Tesla, and how did I buy NFTs? I didn't fucking read for 1 hour, right? What's happening or who the founder is or whatever. I see Twitter, I see it's pumping, I see whatever art or whatever volume or, like, potential airdrop or something, and then I go and buy it, right? It's a fast moving world, right? So not everybody can have, you can't expect everybody to read to get in. And if they read it, there's so much of confusions going on with accesses, what is the benefit and all those things, right? So the first step is the 10K merge, the merge, which we spoke about the AMAs 2 weeks back with the presentation. So becoming one single collection where we all are the same, but segregated by roles inside the server, where the benefits are still going to stay the same for Fusion and Genesis. But from the outside, it's a one single NFT that people are going to get into. No confusion about, should I buy one Gen 2 or one Genesis or two Fusion or whatever, but rather, should I buy one PG NFT or 2 or 3 or 4 or 10 to try and get those roles? So that is pretty much, I think, is the first and foremost, the step for us to, get those communities, that new communities coming in, or at least starting to listen to us. I'm not gonna lie, there's a fair bit of confusion out there, 100%. I think the first step is, probably understanding or accepting the mistakes, which is what we did in the presentation. I think 2 weeks back, and the presentation that explained about, what the problems are and what is the solution. I'm not sure if you have missed it. If you have missed it, check the AMA recaps. I'm pretty sure RNA would have posted it in the AMA recap. Let me just post it here. Yep, AMA recaps. So check there. If there's a link, I think maybe for the presentation. Let me check. He's actually posted the link for. Probably not. Let me just post this link here. So for those who have missed, you can just go through it at your own time. It's in Prezi, so you can just have a check, like, what is the problem, what's the solution, how we are looking to tackle it. Yep. So yeah, first step is recognizing the problem and then coming up with a solution and working on it and executing, right? So the presentation was mainly to explain the problems, what is our solution and stuff. And once the base issue is sorted, whatever we build on top will be automatically, like, people are going to talk about it. So yeah, Shan, so maybe it's unrelated, but it's the loyalty program on way. I mean, it'll be released after merge. Yes, nothing of that, any of that is not changing. Just that after the rebranding and stuff, things that we had planned will continue. How's the new art for us coming along with the upcoming plans? Yeah, that's the biggest challenge. So a small group has already been set. So I'm not going to name the groups yet, right? It's for whatever reason, privacy reasons and stuff. We'll be picking up few people, getting those groups going on, because it's one of the hardest things is art. The expectations and all those things. Whatever you do, people might be like, "Oh, this is good, this is bad," and shit like that. So we're trying to get. Amresh is also conducting a survey. This is very unique and a different kind of thing that we are doing. Um, you know, let me just, yeah. So wait, can you get this presentation out to public because the Medium articles are dated? Yep, you can definitely check that. Click Prezi. This, we didn't do Medium articles yet, so for now it's just on Prezi for you guys to look at. Anyways, so Amrish is doing something which we have. I don't know if other projects have done it, but what we are doing is collecting actual data from Web 2 and public, including some very unique ways. So Amrish is going to, we'll get all this data right? But some of the things what we are doing is going to school, different countries, like, where now he's in New York, he's in Trinidad, and he's originally from Trinidad and UAE, Australia, few countries. We're just going to a school, sending them a task, giving them like a picture, a few NFTs or few art, asking them to select which one would they rep, just and different 3 to 4 different age groups, right? From NFT space, or even like just a PFP that we might insert as few of the options in there. Get the real data. You might be surprised. You guys think Azuki is the best. But so far, lots of people pick Doodles who do not know about NFTs. They pick Doodles over Azuki, right? Like, people who know about NFTs, they look at the Azuki as a brand, and that perspective is playing in their mind. But to a random person, majority showing an Azuki and Doodle, a lot pick Doodle. The best Azuki versus the best Doodle, which is even the basic Doodle that's there as their PFP or whatever, people pick Doodles. Right? So what does this mean? Like, if people are picking Doodles and people are calling Azuki as the best art, what are the things? Brand perspective, and a lot of things are playing in people's mind, right? So it's important to first understand what is actual art that's appealing for people. Are people just saying some art is good because of the floor price and whatnot? So yeah. But I did a survey in my office with normies who know nothing about NFTs. They pick Doodles as their PFPs. Exactly. This is not just you, DJ. I think a lot of people, this is what the actual truth is, right? Beans, for example, I think would be picked more than Zuki in my opinion. I haven't done this research yet, but Beans might be picked up by a lot of people from Web 2 who have no clue about NFTs than Azuki is what my guess is, because people are attracted to that kind of like a doodly, colorful, cute vibes than just human faces and stuff. So that is the kind of research and some unique stuff we are doing, plus some art groups and focus groups and stuff. So yeah, I mean, let's see if we can make one of the best arts. We're not going to be an art project, but we want to make one of the best arts for sure. All right, any other questions before we wrap this up? When Fusion for walls, I think once the gasless pans thing is out, I think we can start doing it, because, or I'm not sure, because we thought the gasless would be out by early next. If it's being delayed, then we'll just kind of like sort it out by this week. Because the gasless one can make it a lot better for sure. Like, with all these multiple NFTs being sold. Oh, DJ, did you buy the tickets yourself or what? There's only 4 tickets left.
No, I didn't buy any tickets. I swear.
All right, so you're worried, motherfucker. I told you, wait, chill. So you're like, oh, Meta is dying, bro. There's 71
He's
tickets sold.
lying. I
Make,
Dude,
watched
it's
him
so
buy.
quiet today. I swear to God.
it's
I
a sub.
watched him buy the tickets himself.
Sorry.
DJ's line. I watched him buy the 4 tickets.
Okay. I'm gonna buy the last four. Let's finish
It's
it.
gone already.
I'm gonna buy the last four. Let's finish it. Let's do a live. Fuck, I'm wasting
Oh
so much
fuck.
time on these raffles, bro. Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna buy now for last four tickets. Let's see who's winning now.
Alright, good luck, good luck.
He
If
doesn't
you
win yet.
win, this is totally rigged, I think.
Yo, fuck you, man. Bro, that's like what? How much did you make over the floor then? Now, if it fully sells out, what's the floor?
About 0.125, I think.
Okay, not bad.
Yep.
Now, can I go and have a nice drinks and dinner tonight at in Singapore then?
Yeah, I'm gonna buy a lot of alcohol, I guess.
Alright. Yeah, I think we are like, what is it? This is one fun way to sell NFTs, but I think, as we discussed yesterday, I think hopefully we can bring that product on and make it even more fun. Okay, so let's see who won. Oh shit, I've already bought 5. Okay.
You just got rugged.
I didn't realize I already bought 5. So I have totally 9 tickets. If refund the 0.1 ETH if for my recover my buys.
Dude, what the
DJ should
fuck?
work
You have
for
like over like 150 Ethereum in your wallet right now.
DJ. You should work for Pans. I see you shilling your tickets everywhere in all the servers. You I think you probably posted more raffles than anybody else.
Dear, exactly, dear, but nobody appreciates me. I'm so sad.
Yo, your tickets are being sold, bro. That's the real appreciation. You're making more than the floor. List another beans. Don't list it on a fucking Sunday. Just wait for 24 hours. Wait for US to become Monday. Bro, who the fuck is this Puffle CEO? Fuck. Okay, yeah. At least he bought 15 tickets. I think he
Oh
deserves.
fuck, he won. Buffles.
You know this guy?
That's Fluffy's
I have
idiot.
no
Hello.
idea who's there, but he just won.
Hello.
Puffle CEO. He's not following me, so I'm not sure who this is.
He's a fucking CEO, bro.
Bro, I think it's some alt account.
It's
Are
an
you
alt
sure?
account.
Bro, I
That's
don't have.
Floofy.
Yeah,
That's
I don't have.
Floofy's alt account.
I
Are
think
you sure he's like buying so many tickets? Like,
Yeah, I think it's DJ's alt account.
I wish it was mine, dude, but it's not.
So that's what DJ got hella quiet right now.
Shit, man, I got lugged.
He said, "Yeah, go buy the 4. Go buy the 4."
But just two win rate. Did Papa win like twice?
Papa just won actually. He won the little Pudgy, I think.
Bruh, he's got
With 5 fucking tickets.
He
Fuck.
he knows something.
he's
That
got
dude
100
knows something.
right? He's got 100% win rate. Then what? Or at least in Pudgies. Fuck, man.
Oh yeah, maybe I guess. Like he's been winning the last 2, I think.
Wait, let me see. Okay, no. He's participated in 15 actually. He's participated in 15. I think just that he's won both the Pudgies. So like Pudgies is his lucky stuff. No, he's actually not 15 actually. He's participated in 3, 4. So he's won a little Pudgy already. 5. Yep, he's participated in like about 10 raffles and he's won 2. Both are little Pudgy. So he's totally spent 0.54 ETH and he's made 0.7 ETH so far. Okay, not bad.
Not bad.
Let's see when the reward system thing is out. Let's see how it is. But overall, I think it's very easy VC fundable product. With the volume and stuff. It's kind of like bringing that DJing element or gambling element, but at the same time, like keeping it kind of fun for people. That's it. Let's see. My only win in Web3. Bro, I saw my one of the Basie I purchased 452 days back. Oh man, it was so I almost cried like legend. Not even gonna that alone is down by 350k USD. Fuck.
What?
Yeah, like, let me send you the thing. This is my alt wallet, but I bought this stupid shit, you know, last year. So I went through a scan to see what was the ETH price at that time for this basic shit, right? Is I think 452 days back, 106 ETH. That's what I've fucking like a dumb idiot. I've paid that much. So this is what like I don't know what I was thinking. Like look at this shit, right? Like this is what I've spent for this stupid base here. Still hold it, and that was 314,000 314k US dollars at the time, right?
What
So
the fuck?
now Basi is at 30 ETH and ETH at 2000 is like 60k, right? So which means that's down by I didn't get ApeCoin as well. This was after ApeCoin.
Ah, fuck.
When Elon Musk fucking changed this PFP, I flipped one and I held one. That's the biggest mistake. I should have flipped both. So it went from 106 to 124 ETH or something. So I flipped one. But look at that. That's 60k right now. So that means that's 250,000 US dollars gone. Could have bought like 2 houses in India.
Bro, why, bro?
So fuck NFTs. Fuck NFTs. I've never been.
That's what some people call wife changing money.
Why? Yo, I haven't even paid half of that from PG salary, bro. That's the worst part. Girl wants to stick with you and you quit your job and lose another 250k on this shit. Brutal. Remember that 15 to 20 ETH flip for Basi? Yeah, that's why I got greedy. I flipped one. That was like it was nice. That was a good move. Second one I listed and I delisted because I was like, what if this was true? What if Musk had actually bought the shit can go to like 140 ETH or something like that? Anyways, lessons.
Yeah, everything's a flip today. I don't
Like,
know if too many projects are out there.
like Maverick buying 64 tickets for a Genesis and losing. It's
I
all like,
don't know what you're talking about.
What the fuck?
bro, didn't you see the Genesis chat? He posted he bought 64 tickets for the Genesis raffle yesterday. And he lost.
You fucking greedy fucker.
Bro, he was actually like some rando won the shit. I don't even know. I don't even know if he joined the server. Like the guy, your friend,
That's
right?
the craziest part. I'm like 64. I'm like, man, no, it's. I did all the calculations like 5 times in my head. I'm like, okay, well, if it's a Genesis, it'll be worth it. So, only thing that'll be worth it. Oh yeah, I'll definitely win. I was like, how could I not win? Then I saw it, my heart just sunk. I was like, no.
The trick is, right, if there's too many participants, right, it's more difficult to win. Even though if you buy like so many tickets, right? Yeah, so just try to avoid buying too many like tickets if you have like too many participants actually.
Yeah, DJ was like the
So you're saying I should have bought 100 tickets? What you're saying?
You should just bought to.
You should have just bought the Genesis, bro. That was just the floor price. Like, literally.
Yeah.
Close, right?
Oh man, I want to see if you know what's it's funny, right? You can also list the NFT for one ticket and bypass royalties. So technically, if you want to sell your meme land and don't want to pay 3.33 plus whatever OpenSea or whatever the marketplace percentage, you can list your meme land for the floor with one ticket, and that bypasses the royalties as well. So technically, yep.
I'm gonna list my future yoga pits as soon as these guys actually decide to mint. These guys are never gonna mint, man.
Yeah.
They've been out there for like what, 2 years now?
Ooh, yoga pits? Nah.
Yoga pits. These guys, man, they just been on the whole time. by the time they come out, they're probably going to be irrelevant. The space probably going to forget about them.
Guys, anything else before I wrap this up? Cool. I'll catch you guys next week, the same time, and see you guys then. Thanks for joining, guys. It's a good talk.